fix our water.
Uncertainty running high in Jackson, Mississippi, as the city enters a fourth day without reliable water service.
I do want to be clear and set expectations that there will be future interruptions. They are not avoidable at this point.
On Wednesday, a new emergency rental pump was installed at Jackson's water facility. However, challenges quickly emerged with the water chemistry. Despite these challenges, Mayor Chokwe Antar Lamumba hopes water service will be restored by the end of the week. But some other local officials are skeptical.
They had to stop services today because they had a 10 million gallon tank that had to be dispersed and pumped out and then refilled so they could bring that water, the new water, up to quality standards to send out into the system. As to when we'll be able to have it back the way it should be, I'm hoping we'll have that in a week or 2 weeks.
As a result of the issues at the city's water facility, some residents are left with no water, others left with low water pressure or even brown water.
It's devastating as a father because, we're the providers for the family, and right now we are just crippled.
Mississippi has deployed the National Guard, and President Joe Biden approved an emergency declaration Tuesday. Schools and businesses have been forced to close, and there isn't enough water to fight fires in the state's capital. Parents are worried about their children's health during this crisis.
Fever, headaches, they got chills, all of that. I traced everything back to it was the water.
Residents are left waiting on hours-long lines for water.
I've been in line maybe almost an hour. It's been rough.
Somebody could do something.
The city's water problems have been ongoing for years, and there's been a boil water advisory in effect since July.
This has been an issue for me since I came down here to Tougaloo College in 1991. I was always told not to drink that water.
Jackson's mayor says he's hopeful for long-term change after having phone calls with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Both assured me that the eyes of Washington are watching the city of Jackson, and they assured me that their support was going to be demonstrated through long-range and long-term efforts through the EPA.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, I am Sylvia Hayes, and you are watching Good News at Primetime. As you can see, we have a crisis going on, so we need to get on the ball. A power thought for today is you are your brother's keeper. You are your brother's keeper. We see things going on. We can't just sit back and look. We got to get on the ball and do something. We got to help our people, because when it's time for us to need help, we're going to want somebody to step up to the line and help us. So we see people in need, so we need to step up. You are your brother's keeper. That's the power thought for today. And it is coming from the book, Good Power Thoughts, Empowering You to Be Successful in Life. One of these days, I'm going to get this right and turning this camera right. But Power Thoughts is a very good book, and Power Thoughts for today is coming out of that. And I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to just get right on to the nitty gritty, and I'm going to bring on my guest so we can talk about this crisis, because it is a devastating thing, something that's been going on for a long time. Hello, guys. How you guys are doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Evening.
We all right. We holding on. We still blessed down here in Jackson, Mississippi. We holding on.
Yeah, I'm glad of that. So we have two guests here. Big Cotton, who is from Mississippi and is down in Mississippi right now. So Chris, can you tell us, well, first of all, we have two guests. Guys, tell me a little bit about yourself. We're going to start with you, Melissa, the ladies first. Tell us a little bit about you.
Good evening.
Excuse me.
So much for the opportunity to be on with you guys tonight. My name is Melissa Ellis, and I am the CEO of Life Beyond Water Global Outreach. We are a 501c3 here in Stockbridge, which is a suburb of Atlanta. And our goal is to provide relief, aid, support, and education to areas that lack clean water while developing the necessary water leaders for sustainability. So it is my honor to be here with you guys tonight, representing Life Beyond Water. My heart goes out to you, Chris, and hang on because help is on the way.
Thank you. And Big Chris, Big Cotton.
Yes,
I'm gonna
ma'am.
get it right.
Big Chris.
Tell
Well,
us a
you
little
can
bit
call
about
me
you.
Big Chris. You can call me Big Chris because I grew up under you anyway. So
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, well, I'm Christopher Cotton, aka Big Cotton, Jacktown Gaming Commission, and I'm originally from Jackson, by way of Stone Mountain. When we got word of what was going on down here, I immediately came down to see about my mother here, and on top of that, we was having the flood. But the water problem here is not something that's new. The infrastructure in this city has been messed up for years and years. As long as I've known, the water has been kind of tainted. They tell us don't drink the water, but always boil it. But since the last couple of months with the flooding and the infrastructure so bad with the pipes and potholes and stuff here in Jackson, it has really gotten bad. The water's contaminated, and we're down here scrambling, trying to do the best that we can to, to provide clean water and resources. My company, the Jacktown Gaming Commission, we provide, like I say, entertainment. We do entertainment, we do marketing, but our main thing is community service. Anything that comes about the community or in touch with the people, we go hands first, feet on the ground. And so I came down to be with my mother and the Jacksonians in this time of need. We've been going to different places, having water distributions, lunch to the elders, and just doing our due diligence to make the situation better. So any of y'all out there, if you can aid and assist us down here in Jackson, Mississippi, we will greatly appreciate all the help we can get, because this problem right here is just ridiculous. And without the right proper help and the right people, we just down here in turmoil right now.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned food. Are you, there people are having problem? I guess with the water shortage, they are having a problem in cooking, huh?
Yeah, cooking the food. We have to boil the water. A lot of restaurants, if you go, some of the restaurants are not open really. They shutting down because of the water situation, and it's just like, man, the toilet yesterday, it was terrible. I would say, Mama, the water was so black and nasty coming through our faucets, and I was like, this was sickening looking at this. And I said, Mama, you gonna have to come to Atlanta, Georgia with me when I leave. And she was like, son, we just gonna try to work it out. These people down here, man, they're going through a lot, man. It's an experience, I tell you. It's really an experience.
Oh, I believe it. And
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
another guest, Miss Sharon here. Sharon, would you like to tell us a little bit about you?
I am Sharon J. Hill, hail from Canton, Mississippi, living in Powder Springs, Georgia, and this is about us caring and loving across the miles. Thank you, Sylvia. And is Reginal on?
No.
And is it that Big Cotton? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
All righty now, all righty. And of course, this is such an honor to be here with the legend. Hello. She is the difference maker. She is Ms. Melissa Ellis. We thank you for Life Beyond Water, for us understanding and knowing and definitely growing, for all that you have already done and much more to do as we look to help you.
Thank you.
Good. So
go ahead. We hear you. We going in and out, but we can hear you.
Okay. So Sharon, do you have any family members in the Jackson area that's been affected by the water crisis?
I do not have family members. I actually have some classmates. And one of them is Wanda Wissington, showed her the water rising last week at her door, and I believe seeping inside her door. I have not had conversation with her, but I have reached out to the president of our class of Canton Public High School, 1978. and
Okay.
to find out, who, if anyone else. I have also reached out to um, neighbors that we grew up in Canton with, who actually live in Jackson, and one is our Mississippi civil rights veteran, Mother Fonzie Brown Wright, and she has helped to
Okay.
connect to a few other churches. So, Sylvia, as we connect here in Georgia, for those MIGs, Mississippians in Georgia, for what this time has called for.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Um, I heard today that they've got the water back on. So with water being on, is it everybody? Do everybody have water
I think
now?
she went
Or
out.
It's pressure, the pressure, right?
the pressure?
Can
Yeah.
y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, we can hear
We hear
you.
you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I know
Um.
we. I know I can't see Miss Sylvia, but I can see you guys.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Well, she's
But like
still
I say
on.
here, okay. Well, like I'm saying here, our problem is also. I think it's also got a lot to do with the people that we put in these offices as well, because from my understanding, there's been a lot of funding allocated to this infrastructure down here with these water pipes and whatnot, but they're not allocating the funds. Now they putting it on the governor, and one thing we have, our governor and our mayor does not have a direct line of communication with each other, along with our city council. So along with the water problem, we also have administrative problems as well with the city of Jackson. And that's another big part of why we've been had these water crises and these infrastructure problems for years. It's the people that we elect in these offices that's they back and forth with. You can look at our city council every day; they fighting each other. The mayor and the governor, they not on the same page. So I don't know. We as a people need to come together and do more about the people that we elect in these offices to handle our business like that. So I'm here now. I'm trying to do dual citizenship. I want to start on these politicians as well. And I'm a big advocate about who we put in office to direct us on these things like this here. We have a great mayor. I think Chuckway Lumumba is a great mayor. He's young, he's energetic, and he's trying to take us to the next level. But we have to do more with our government and our city officials collaborating more together.
To
Yeah.
your
I
point,
I
thank
heard
you for
that.
making that point. Yes, thank you for making that point. Um, Sylvia, this is we know what time it is. It is election. This is midterm election 2022. And yes, that's where the rubber meets the road. The vote. The vote,
That's where the
the
rubber
vote.
meets the road right
And
there.
and it counts. It counts because it amounts to your vote counts because it amounts to the resources and services that come to your neighborhood,
Exactly.
your district. That's why you should know your city council person. And I think what in Mississippi is aldermen and supervisors as well. And of course, your state house people and state senate people that I'm sorry, everyone, but it doesn't matter if it's 100,000 people somewhere. If only 35,000 votes, then that is all the resources, a ratio that will come to you. And so to your point, Brother Cotton, that yes, it is who you represent. And let's be real clear, the message has always been there. Represent taxation without representation.
Right.
And what we need to stand for now is taxation with right representation. Demand it and stand up for it.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah. And
But
from what I've been told that the
Exactly.
governor have no intentions, or he do not
That's right.
want to put the
So
money
so
in the
what
city of
what where I'm
Jackson.
at now,
He put the
hearing
money
that
on
I'm
the
gonna be back and
outside of
forth with the
Jackson rather than
Jacktown
in the
Gaming
city
Commission in
where it's
Jackson,
needed.
I'm organizing to try and put the right people in office to do the job that we need done. This problem that we have is only because of our administration, our governor, and our our mayor. This is like a fight between our governor and it's crazy, and we suffering. We paying high water bills. Um, these people down in Jackson are really paying water bills that's ridiculous, and they're not getting the services that they're. The water bills are like in the 200 and 300s, and these people not getting the service. It's just it's. I'm telling you, it's terrible. I promise you, it is terrible. So,
So
like I said, we
we
need to start with our city officials.
and so while that definitely is valid, I am really wanting Sylvia for Sister Ellis to bring to how you
Everybody
say
going out.
bring it bring it forward because of the while we deal with government and we have to, what we also
Melissa,
have
you
to do
still here?
what we also have to deal with is reality is I know,
Okay,
right? He
so
can't hear us, I think. Reality. And the reality is what? Dealing with what we
everybody
have.
gone out except you and I, Melissa. So
No,
where we
Melissa,
go from here, Melissa?
tell him.
What we need to
Tell
do?
him. Go ahead and speak to what Life Beyond Water is not just about the bottle.
so I have heard a lot of things that have come forth, and it's absolutely spot on that it is everything to do with who we elect to represent us. And fact of the matter is that since Jackson was desegregated, the municipalities have failed to treat Jackson fairly when it comes to their infrastructure. And I don't believe that this is by happenstance. I totally believe that it's intentional. There's was $7.1 billion in the infrastructure bill for water, and that was across the U.S. And I want to say the state of Mississippi got 90 million of that for their infrastructure projects related to water alone. So there's money there. They chose to do other things with it. They chose not to make repairs. They chose not to pour into the city that is the black mecca for Mississippi. It is your capital city. And so what I find interesting is we have to make sure that the citizens of Jackson stay in Jackson. Like we talk about representation, we don't want the mass exodus of people like Katrina and Louisiana and things like that. We want the citizens of Jackson to stay in Jackson, to be healthy, prosperous, and profitable, to have a competitive tax base to move the needle. That is the leverage. So we must make sure that they can be that in their homes. So one of the things are we have partnered with a bunch of churches and a whole bunch of different folks all over, and people are pouring in donations. So we provided to start 25 tractor trailers of water that are going into Mississippi. I actually will be there Saturday. Maybe I can meet you, Mr. Chris. I'll be down at Horizon Church at 2 p.m. for the distribution there. But beyond that, bringing in bottled water is absolutely what we had to do. There was no water. There was not even water going to homes. So now we are shifting as an organization to provide a water filter product. We know that the confidence is extremely low when it comes to the infrastructure and the water, and this is not new. Just like everybody has basically said, we were there last year when after Uri, and there was no water for 21 days. It's been boil notice after boil notice, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So we have a heart for Jackson. So we decided to do 1,000 water filters for Jackson. So we are raising funds to get water filters into individual homes. It is a tap filter. You just hook it onto the tap. It filters 500 gallons of water a day. And we're talking about bacterias, viruses, protozoa, 99.99%, even microplastics. So we are trying to raise funds. We don't want Mississippi to have to buy them from it. We want to be able to give. That's what we do. We want to provide us a semi long-term solution. These filters actually last for 10 years if you clean them properly, which takes nothing but back flushing. So we want to provide a intermediate solution, and the real long-term solution is get the right people in office. The real solution is get people out to vote, because you can't get them in office without turning out the vote. Staying in your homes, being prosperous, profitable, and healthy in your homes in Jackson, in your community. That is what we want. That's what we are looking to do as Life Beyond Water, to support Jackson.
Yeah, the long term is getting the right water. But short term, those filters. Tell me about those filters. How much are they?
So the filters are fairly inexpensive. They're $35 each. So for $35, we can provide a filter to a home in Jackson. It's a very simple installation, and they really do last for quite a while. We even use them, a version of them overseas, where we actually draw water in rural areas in nations that don't have clean water at all, ever. So we use them there as well, a different form. We actually put them on buckets, but these are designed for the tap. So we're telling people to tap in, and let's get Jackson some tap filters so that they
Awesome.
homes and be, I mean, God forbid, somebody told me a story about how she does in-home dialysis.
Oh,
You need water for that. Like,
Mhm.
life and death. Obviously, drinking water is life and death, but they're cleaning your blood. They're cleaning the kidneys. So they need this water. So now she has some different water bags that she's got to use to do this dialysis. And she said they're so heavy. Like, she couldn't even imagine if she was any older than she was, or if she had any ailments, that she would even be able to do this. And you talk about moms needing to put formula to make, dry formula, Similac and Enfamil. How we used to do. My kids are older now. So.
I know, right?
And,
Oh no, oh no, mine are grown and gone. But
right, have
to
formula.
your point, yes, to your point. Well, I mean, Sylvia,
Yeah.
Melissa, we see that Chris has timed out, but as we speak about tapping in, I believe that we need to, for Care Across the Miles, ask people to adopt a home,
Yes,
Right.
adopt a Jackson home.
I know
Yeah.
that's
I
That
mean,
obvious.
you
sounds
said
good to me.
$35. You said $35 for
$5.
the filter.
Mhm.
And
How soon
so,
can you get the filters?
They can be there this week.
This week?
Hmm. I have some
Okay.
on hand. We'll take some in on Saturday. Um,
mhm,
Thousands today, but I really can get them on a 3-day. It's just ordering from my
turn
distributor,
around.
getting them.
Okay.
Um,
Well, because that's what we need are the right now solutions.
that's right.
And so
Right.
when I heard you speak to that, I'm like, well, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. Because I was already talking to Sylvia about what to propose for our Mississippians in Georgia to, how you say, reach back home as we care across the miles. That would they need to adopt a family, or do we adopt somebody be responsible for making sure that they're connected to the different churches that are and at doing outreach as well. And it's one thing for here, but we have to also be in contact there. That's why I made the call, and I reached out to the deacons here, who already are connected to the home churches. And so as we pull this information together, and as people have been calling Sylvia, um, for what can be done, how you say we need the wish list. And so, Melissa, that's the wish list that we
Yeah.
need them to adopt a home, at this point for water. And if you now what did okay now I did see from on your website Life Beyond Water the bucket now. Okay, so all right, so you have it on the faucet. Should we actually see about having two for the home? Because what's the bucket? How important is the bucket with the filter on it?
Well, that it's the same type of technology. It's micro hollow water filters. It is basically mechanical, as they say, not chemical. So chemical,
Mhm.
when you clean water and you do it chemically, like putting chlorine, that breaks chemical bonds and changes things in the water. But we're just kind of, it's kind of more like I guess, a colander or a sieve. So
Okay.
the hollow filters are so small that the things can't fit through there. So it's basically cleaning it that way. Now the bucket is usually for when you don't have a running water. So we use
Ah,
raw water from raw natural springs and ponds and even puddles. Like literally, there are places in Africa
okay.
and their water source is a water hole, like basically where there's a depression or they dug a hole and the rainwater gathers there. So then we use the bucket to use it as a receptacle, then to be able to attach the filter and then filter the water. But this filter can go directly on the faucet. It can go in
Okay.
faucet. It can even go on a spigot outside. Okay, and it's pressurized or non-pressurized. So this
Okay.
if the water. Now there is we actually even have a water filter on the website that can actually clean the water of an entire home. So
Oh,
accident on
oh,
the side of, as the water's coming in the home, a home, a small school, like and those are only $400. So
Okay.
there's not solutions. Now, I even have a partner in the industry, and he told me he'd been trying to get in touch with Jackson for years, trying to get them to provide solutions, and nobody would listen to him. Nobody would return his call. So
mm.
out of Flint, so he had already been through this. So
Wow.
so
So let me ask you a question. Would FEMA be interested? You think they would help provide the filters for families?
well, that's interesting. I don't know what FEMA would do. So I did speak
Mhm.
to a couple representatives in Mississippi, and there are some funds and things that have been made accessible due to the state of emergency. So
Okay.
I'm going to be sending over a package to them as well, to see if it's something that they're interested in. But again,
Okay.
sometimes when people from the outside come in,
That's
they kind of don't like that either. So
Yeah.
we
and that thank
see
you for thank you for saying that. Yes.
that, that we will find a way that we can get a foot in, because there's what, 50 public schools in Jackson. There's no reason why each school can't have a filter. There's no reason why each home
Mhm.
can't have even a faucet filter to begin with, because the confidence is so low when they get the water on, when they say it's safe. People ain't gonna be drinking that water still.
Right.
As well, when and he's back. Hello, Chris. And as Cynthia was, I mean, Sylvia was speaking to the pricing and the cost factor of the availability of funds. There really still are the American Rescue. That it's there.
Yeah, the
And
care.
so now it's a call of what we can share with the citizens to call for, because it went to the cities and the counties.
Right. So
And
double.
my understanding, just like they did in Georgia,
Yeah.
infrastructure, broadband. But here we are. Well, now's the time to account for where did the funding go?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
always
Now, what I was told that Mississippi was given funds for infrastructure, but the governor did not give it to Jackson. They gave it to
yeah,
the
that's
outside people. And as you
well,
know, Jackson is what, like 80% black, and the governor is white. So, and all the white people moving out to the outside of Jackson, and that's where all the funds went to, to those
right.
people
But
on the outside. And so Jackson is still, what I was told, now I haven't read this, what I was told that the mayor went through and looked at some paperwork, and this problems go back 30 years.
Yes.
You know, where they're not even
but you speak to the length of the time of the Black leadership.
Yeah, well, we just got that.
But no, Melissa, you're needing to speak to something. Go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just saying, but it goes back to desegregation. It goes in line with redlining for real estate. It goes in line with environmental racism. I mean, it's just flat out what it is. And we can trying to kind of skirt around the issue, but that's really
but that is our reality. And therein again, let's let the rubber meet the road. The American Rescue Plan Act, presented and signed by President Biden on January 20th, 2021, his executive order 13985 is aptly titled Advancing Racial Equity and Support for Underserved Communities
Exactly.
by the federal government. And let's be real clear, it addressed historical racial inequities that were effectively exasperated by what? COVID. Because that's what it is. COVID recovery.
That's right.
It's fiscal recovery. So it's funding $1.9 trillion across this country. And each state received theirs. And I said it went to the cities and the counties, but they decided, instead of hearing from the people what was needed for different neighborhoods, districts, and there hasn't been oversight. But get this, this is where we've come to right now. And the bill that was most definitely appropriated, like I said, with 1.9 trillion dollars. Let's be real clear now, trillion. And for all of the different areas of health and human services, all the different departments, it was for recovery from COVID. That, as you just spoke about, going back 30 years, historical racial inequities that we know were there. And further, and then now look at where we are. On top of COVID comes the past 2 years for the water, which, of course, between the pressure, I'm understanding as you are, Sylvia, because we don't live there, haven't been there, but that the water pressure is something that has been experienced, as well as the flooding. And there are more cities, there are more counties, there are more states that are experiencing the same thing. And because it wasn't taken care of in the initial tranche of funding that came last year, here we are as the second tranche has come in this past May, and things have gotten worse. Oh, but y'all, we ain't in no crisis now. So y'all know that, right? So what we talking about?
Yeah.
What crisis? What crisis? What you talking about?
Right. I missed a lot of your conversation because I couldn't hear it. We having difficulties here with the weather, so
We
but
understand.
you're definitely on cue on what's going on here. It's not just it's the political, it's the people that's running this place. These council members, the man's trying to do all he can do. The governor is not, he's just talking. He's talking. You know why? Because 98% of Jackson is black.
Right. Oh, we're well aware.
So I
Yes.
don't know. I'm just here and I'm seeing some stuff that 2022 we going through this.
Exactly. And if we don't wake up Anybody who sees this, anybody in any urban city in America, you could be next. That's the real reality of this.
That's
It,
the real reality.
it's about cities in Louisiana, cities in Alabama, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, like all over the country. There are cities with dilapidated
That's
infrastructure
right.
that hasn't been taken care of because there are primarily Black citizens in those areas. They choose
All
Right.
right, Flint.
decisions to put funding elsewhere. They keep kicking the can down the road because when it comes to water, the reality is I do water every day. People take it for granted.
That's right.
You know, before this crisis, how hard I had to staunch and pound and beat the pavement to get somebody to pay attention to donate some water for money for some water.
Right.
So they don't care. It ain't broke down. Water is coming out of their faucet. So nobody's even. But the fact is, it's a sleeping giant under the ground for every urban city. So
I like that. I like that. Sleeping giant. Yes, the
you know,
sleeping giant.
all that
The
happening, Glenn.
sleeping giant has awakened everyone.
Absolutely. Guess what? They'll run. Everybody will run out. They'll fix it. They'll gentrify it, and they'll have it just as fair, much fairer than me. Okay, when it's all
Well, y'all can rest assured, just as well as y'all met me today, y'all know my name. Y'all watch and see my smoke now, because I'm very in. I'm a person. I come from a family of some real people and fighters, and then I'm back here and I see what's going on. It's gonna go down. I promise you. The
Okay,
Jacktown
well,
Gaming Commission is in full effect, and we here. All my
well,
people came
we're
back,
here.
and we here.
We're here for that, and that's why I just
Yeah.
knew that it was imperative that Melissa come here this evening. I asked Sylvia to find somebody from back home. Girl, get somebody who on the ground.
Well, we on the
and
ground every day.
and once seeing Melissa,
care for your own community. It's
that's
tough
right.
not even care in their own community. So
Mhm.
that
Well, I want to say this here while I got an opportunity. We have a artist by the name of Smoke D and a guy called Batman that's in there has a radio show on Mr. Charles Evans. Well, you know, y'all remember Charles Evans, Mega Ever Brother, the radio
Yes,
station.
Yeah.
yes.
And what they are doing now is that they came by our place, the Gaming Commission, yesterday, which we are located at 906 Mill Street, and we're gonna be distributing a lot of water and different things to these to our communities here. They came by, they got people that sending stuff here, 906 Mill Street, Jackson, Mississippi. Well, we're actually in the community right now. When I leave you guys, I'm going back to Mill Street area. That's the downtown area. We still got the historical district of Ferris Street,
Paris.
where we still
Hmm.
got people living in that community, and
Right.
and all that area there. So that's what we are set up, and we are working all around the clock to this. I'll be here in Mississippi for the next 3 days. I've been here for 3.5 weeks. I'm leaving in 2 days because I got to come back, but I will be back next week, coming back because it's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work.
So I have a question. I see one a question. Is that a question that has come up? What, Sylvia? What is that?
It says, "What did we learn from Katrina and Flint? It's interesting to hear the U.S. citizens with poor infrastructure and unsafe water, similar to poor nations."
Right.
I think we learn to do what we are doing. As Melissa noted, history dictates that we need to take note, and we have taken note. She has followed the spirit and moved into providing providing the solution.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
absolutely,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
providing the solution. And I know from dealing as we did with outreach from Katrina, because you all know how many people came to Atlanta, right? So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the ground with Pastor Daryl Winston, and we actually, I'm sorry, I had a press conference against the Red Cross back then. But um we had to do what we had to do, and like you're calling out for what FEMA is doing, and but it still comes down to you all, what are we doing, as Melissa said, in our own communities? As Brother Chris is saying, we know what to do, y'all. We know how to take care of ourselves,
Right.
and that's really what it's time for. It's time to get back to community. I had been saying this for the voter empowerment and mobilization for getting out the vote. And now, look, this is where we are,
Right.
is getting back to community. Each one reach one. As we're giving out what, because see, what we're working on is, hey, give out the information for the upcoming election now more than ever. Look at God, y'all. You see how they didn't want you to vote absentee, right?
Right.
Hello, now. Yes, we have to stand in righteousness. We have to stand and know that God will fight our battles no matter what, and the way shall be made all the time.
Right.
Okay. We have to now, the message is vote absentee. Vote absentee so you don't have to worry about going out there, standing in line, getting tired, and we already don't have water resources. Okay.
Right.
I can't recall. Let's see, for Jackson, if you all have same day registration or voter registration or not. But
Well, I want to
other
say this here
states,
before we get off. They
yes.
can come to 906 Mill Street. That's the Jacktown Gaming Commission, and get voters registration forms. I will
Thank
be,
you.
I will
Thank
be
you.
holding while I'm here all next week while we
Okay.
doing the Sony filming for the Sony.
Okay.
Anytime you can come to 906 Mill Street
Mill
and
Street.
get voters registration forms.
Okay. And it's the
Always,
gaming.
always come to 906 Mill Street, Jackson, Mississippi. Voters registration forms are there.
You said it's the gaming?
Jacktown Gaming Commission.
Jacktown Gaming. That's what we have to make sure people know. That what you understand? Make sure the churches have voter registration
Yes,
forms. Make sure they have the
everybody.
absentee ballots. Make sure that they know where to go to get their sample ballots. Okay. We
Yes,
can't be caught up. Don't be distracted by, oh no, there are no drop boxes. Forget that. Okay. Um, gather people, make sure they
they can
get to
drop it off
wherever
with
the
me. I'll
drop
make sure it
boxes
get where it
are.
need to go.
Thank you.
They can
That
drop it off right there at
do
906
what
Mill
we
Street.
know how to do. Take care. This is back to village time. Okay?
Yes, yes,
That's what this call is, y'all. It is for us
yes,
to
yes.
rise as only we know how to rise.
That's
And
right.
that is how? Together.
Together, unity.
Together. Unity. That's
So that's
right.
right. So,
That
like I
village.
said, the
Unity in
Jacktown
the
Gaming
village.
Commission is in full effect, and we here. We're gonna do the voters registration drives. We
Thank
on
you.
top of everything down here now.
Let's
They
go.
know we on top of things because I'm very political with these people down here. I've been in the
Okay.
paper before with the sheriff and all these people and won. We are boots on the ground. The
Boots on the
gaming
ground.
commission is in
Y'all know
Jackson.
we have, come on now. All hands on deck and boots on the
Yeah.
ground. Come on. And see, guess
Well,
what? Those are words that haven't been spoken before. It's our ancestors, okay, that have gone before. It's what look, this is what I tell people who say they want to go and stand in line. I'm like, that's been done before, okay?
that's
Hello?
been done
You
already.
That's been done
Hey,
already.
Dr.
And
King,
get this.
Dr.
They
King was telling him, we got to go fight now. We
come
got to
on.
go.
No,
But wait a minute,
fight with
Chris,
the
they
money.
stood in line.
Gotta fight.
They stood in line so we could vote by mail. That's what you tell people.
You also need to vote with your money. You mean
But
to vote buy black, right?
Yes,
come on
yes.
now,
$30
do
an hour.
exact. That's right. That
Exactly.
is. All
Right.
right.
Come to 906 Mill Street, and we cook food. We give food away.
Come on.
Come just enjoy yourself. Register to vote. Black, 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 black. Let's
So
go.
let me ask you a question. Is the governor up for re-election this year?
I don't know, but what if he do, he leaving because we gonna get him out of there. We gonna get him out of there.
Love it.
I've been
Chris
saying
Chris
that.
said
He got to go.
He got to
Chris
go.
said that's
He got to
a
go.
Chris said that's a detail. Okay.
That's right. He got to because I watched him on the news, and I know we have been allocated money. Why is
Yeah.
the captain sitting in this kind of shape? He
But
don't want to comply with the math. They want to. I don't know. We got to do something. If we don't do nothing, we just. I'm doing something. I'm here.
And you're right.
okay.
We gotta stand up as citizens of our own communities.
We
Like you
got
said,
to.
Right.
we can't be
That
looking for the next Barack Obama and who
No, we got to.
we gotta be
We
that.
got to. We got to take control of our own communities. Like they
that
say, we
that
got to
is right.
police our own communities now.
Get back to that. Brighten the corner where you are. I know that was old song, y'all, and but it was always true that that's what you need to do.
Right.
Brighten the corner where you are. That's your corner.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure that, hey, what? It shines.
Yeah.
It
A
shines.
family that stands together is strong.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Most
so we're gonna
definitely.
have to stand together and help them out down there. Cause we probably need
That
some
is it.
help here in
So
Atlanta
we
too.
need so what we need actually, Melissa has the solutions with the filters. We must ask people to adopt a home with the $35. And
Mm-hmm.
on her website is that. But Melissa, is there something where um that we can actually what is it? Call it that so that people, we talk about that? How to work that?
About that,
Yeah.
Okay.
about to develop a whole other program.
Yes, that exactly.
But
But right
as
now, I mean, saying that they just need to donate, right? Yes.
yeah, get the filter. So I do have a business partner, partner friends, Hamilton Davis Mental Health, Hamilton Davis Home.
Yes.
So they are all through Jackson there, and we're gonna get filters there. We're gonna registrations and pick them up.
Awesome.
Okay,
Okay.
so that we'll do a registration, a link on the website, and then
Yeah,
can make sure that we spreading the wealth, and somebody ain't got
that's right.
five filters, and ain't somebody. So we want
Right.
to
Right.
and get some as they register, and then they can do it at pickup. It may even morph to mail. Now that was my original solution, to
Oh.
off the top solution to get that
Uh-huh.
started, get that added to the website, so that
Okay.
any filters out. And as far as a one, I have to figure out how to connect that where we get
Okay.
exactly to.
Oh, we're not worried about that. We know you can get it done. Don't play. Don't be. Look.
You know, and no matter, I'm
Well,
gonna
I
get.
tell you what, ladies, y'all take my email address down because I got to get ready to run. They calling me.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
So
Big Cotton, BigCottonPromo at Yahoo. Big Cotton Promo at Yahoo.
Promo. Okay.
Melissa,
I'm
send
hitting.
me the stuff.
Wait a
Send
minute.
me the
At
stuff
what?
you talking about.
I
At
will. I'm gonna hit you up because I need some help Saturday. We're
Where,
gonna be in
where in Atlanta?
no,
Saturday.
she'll be in
Jack,
Jackson.
I'm
No,
Well,
coming.
I'm
she's
on my
coming
way
to.
back. I'm leaving Friday.
But all
Oh
you
wow.
calls
So
and get.
talk to me after this here
I
so
will.
you can let me know what I can put together for you before I leave.
Okay.
Right.
Let me
You
know
can.
what I need to do before I leave. Let me set you up. So when
Yes,
you come, you will be ready.
that's
Thank.
right.
okay.
So just hit me on my email and
Okay.
we gonna go from there.
All right.
Miss
Say it.
Sylvia,
Give it
Yes.
again. Give it
it's Big
again.
Cotton Promo at yahoo.com. BigCotton
Got it.
Promo at yahoo.com.
We got you.
And the name
Okay.
of my company is the Jacktown Gaming Commission.
Okay.
We represent game, GAME, getting all money easy. All right.
Oh.
Get all
Y'all
money
take care
easy.
now.
Okay.
I love
All
you.
right, Miss
Okay.
Okay.
Sylvia, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You take care.
All right, bye bye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. So we only have a few more minutes left, but
Right.
I think those filters is a longer term than the water, And I think that's a good way we can help the Mississippians down there. Yeah. Even though they need water too.
There's
Right.
FEMA has sites. There's going to be still water coming in. There will be
Right.
some water and containers and things for people, but we definitely want to shift once that water pressure is
That's right.
to
That's
be able
right.
to the water, because we have
Awesome.
a problem with all of these plastic bottles. So, you know,
That's
it's necessary, but we
right.
also have to at a longer term, like I said, and it's more of an intermediate solution. You know, when I think long term, it's political change, it's dollars, where our dollars going, and make an impact economically, because that's all they worried about.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sylvia.
Yeah,
So
we're
very much.
welcome. Yeah, so we're definitely going to work on that, because I'm already calling the Mississippians in Georgia. We already got people ready to donate, people ready to go down to Mississippi and help distribute water and everything. So we're going to be on it. We're going to be on it.
Life Beyond Water will be at New Horizon Church on Saturday at 2 p.m. We have 3 tractor trailer loads of water that will be distributed that day. I think that's 60 pallets of water. So that'll be distributed. We also have wipes and sanitizer, which will be distributed. And there will be trucks all next week distributing from several locations. We're just waiting on confirmation on capacity, because they have to be able to get the stuff off the truck. You know, you need the proper equipment. So we're just getting the logistics sites lined up. And then we are also ready with the water filter. So send everybody to the website, www.lifebeyondwater.org. Buy a filter for somebody else. You know, it doesn't matter. We're going to get it there. And our goal right now is 1,000, but I think there's 60,000 households. So
right.
we need to get I mean,
get it going. Oh, and you know what I meant to ask him about, Sylvia, was since he was mentioning the downtown historic district, Ferris Street. For those who are familiar with the Bell Collective, that they are working on Ferris Street. And let's see, the new Bell that has been added, whose family owns most of Ferris Street. I'm asking if anyone has reached out to them.
That's a good question.
Okay, that's it. So look, so when you there on Saturday,
have access to someone who may have access to her. You know, I don't know.
That's look, that's all I'm saying. Okay. Look, I got my sleeves rolled up. Wait a minute, where are they? I got my sleeves rolled up, y'all. Can you see? My sleeves are rolled up. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with this water crisis, there are people who they've been having this water crisis for a long time, because I was talking to my brother who lives there, and he said sometimes they cut the water off, or the pressure is real low, and it didn't just start now. It's been happening like that, you know. So we have to be our brother's keeper.
Right.
We have to be our brother's keeper, and we have to help speak up, you know, because that's home for a lot of people who are not there. You know, and when we go back home, we want water decent. We want water for our families, our mothers and cousins, or whoever's left behind. We want them to have good water. So even though we are not there, that's still home for us. You know, so we still got to speak up. We are our brother's keeper. You know, always, even if you're miles away.
That's right.
You
that's
are
why
your brother's
that's
keeper.
why I call it care across the miles. Okay.
Yeah. Care across the miles.
Care across the miles.
So we're going to continue to work. And of course, we're going to continue to promote my book, Power Thoughts. And one day I'm going to have this right. Power Thoughts, empowering you to be successful in life. This book is a very powerful book. Someone told me this week, as a matter of fact, they said after reading that book, their whole life changed. It lifted such a burden off of them. She had life burdens and stress. And after reading that book, it was all lifted up, and she was so much better. So this book is very powerful, and it helps everybody. So I want everybody to get this book, because it's such a life-saving thing, literally life-saving. Okay.
All right.
And like I said, you are your brother's keeper. We're going to still continue to try to get water out there to the Mississippians because it's been a long time. They're constantly, running out of water, needing water. When a person say they have to go get water every day, that shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to leave your home to get water every day. And then I know one family with a wife, she couldn't go get the water and she needed it. So there are people who need water. The water is cut off and they can't go get it. And then the water is contaminated. So what you gonna do? We still need to get water to them. Even if they can't go get the water and they can't use the water there. So we still need to bring water to them or get these filters to them. That would help out a whole lot because everything being that water. They call themselves recycling the water. And so those filters, that would help a whole lot, taking some of those things out.
You have, and she also has the one for the low pressure too, right? Michelle, I mean Melissa. Look, Michelle, I'm including everybody, girl.
They all pressure. It's gravity fed, so you don't have to have water pressure. So whatever water is coming out, it will filter that. And if it's just a little bit, but it will filter it.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what we're going to work on. Mississippi's in Georgia. We're calling you out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Harborfront needs you.
Let's go.
And everybody else too. Everybody, because we are a family. We are a family, and we got to help each other out. That's what family do.
We do.
We help each other.
What Chris said, all hands on deck, all boots on the ground.
Exactly. And so we're going to come to a conclusion with this show. Thank you so much. How can you be reached, Melissa, before we get out of here?
Yeah. Me at info@lifebeyondwater.org. That's the email address, info@lifebeyondwater.org. You can DM us on Instagram at Life Beyond Water, Facebook Life Beyond Water Global Outreach. And on the website there's even some forms you can fill out to volunteer, to donate, just to kind of get a handle on what we're doing, so we can send you out information. This is not the only thing that we respond to. So we'll be putting another well in Ghana next year. All types of things. So we're excited to be able to serve because it's an honor. We get to serve.
Right. And like I said, you can't take this water thing for granted because here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah, and thank you, Sharon. Well, we already see how we can reach out to you.
Definitely.
It's playing no games.
No games. It's real. It's all the way live.
So until then, I'm going to say thank you for tuning in to Good News at Primetime. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure seeing everybody and getting this information out there because the Mississippians do need help, and they are our neighbors, even though it's one state over. They are our neighbors, and we need to help, okay? And don't forget Power Thoughts by Sylvia Hayes. You can get that at lulu.com, or you can just go to AandKProductions.com, AandKProductions.com, and get your book. Okay, and so until next week, we're going to say thank you for tuning in to Good News at Primetime, and y'all have a good evening.